So today we're gonna try our hands at making jerk chicken. So I picked up some jerk chicken seasoning at the supermarket, and basically one of the primary ingredients is gonna be allspice and Scotch bonnet peppers. Scotch bonnet peppers are obviously gonna be hard to find. I was able to find some Scotch bonnet hot sauce, which I lucked out on. Scallions, obviously pretty easy to find that. Garlic is something you could also use, but I'm going to use shallots today. And then obviously allspice is going to be your primary ingredient. And to taste, I'm going to play around with these different options. Thyme because thyme was in this recipe. And most likely cloves and nutmeg, but obviously these two can probably be one or the other depending on your taste preference. And obviously you can make this completely dry seasoning and get Scotch bonnet peppers yourselves and then dry them out and then blend them with your different ingredients and maybe use like dry onion. But I don't have access to that kind of stuff right now, so I'm just gonna do a wet rub and we'll just marinate the chicken for a spell and then cook it. I'm gonna probably do a comparison between the store-bought jerk seasoning and the recipe I'm just gonna make up. Obviously I've never made this before, so we'll just see how it turns out. All right, this is probably gonna be our base mixed with the hot pepper sauce. Although this probably has onions already in it. It doesn't. So this is just Scotch bonnet peppers, vinegar, and spices. I don't know what spices, obviously, but so we'll just chop up some scallions, and I'm probably going to put this in like a little food processor thing, make a sauce out of it, see what it tastes like, play around with the recipe a little bit. I might add some olive oil to cut it down if it's too spicy. And then some shallots. Shallots are kind of like, I don't know, a little mix between onion and garlic. That was my oven. I preheated it to 425. I'm probably gonna be oven roasting it for about 35 minutes. But you can cook it however you want. Obviously, the traditional way of cooking jerk chicken, I think, is a little more fun than just putting it in an oven, but all I have access to is an oven, so we'll work with that. So I'm eyeballing everything. So I'm probably gonna do about that much to start off with. A tablespoon and a half or so of chopped shallots, and looks like about 2 tablespoons, I would say, 2.5 maybe, tablespoons of chopped scallions. So probably gonna do 3 tablespoons of olive oil. I don't want the olive oil flavor to be dominant. Okay, then we got the Scotch bonnet pepper sauce, which I'm assuming is going to be really spicy, but not entirely sure. Let's find out. Oh yeah, that's really spicy. It's really flavorful though. Whew. Oh, that's really spicy. Okay, also what they recommend using is some sugar, but I'm allergic to sugar, so I'm gonna use honey, which I love regardless. Obviously you can get whatever kind of honey you want. This is just generic honey, but I'm gonna guess a tablespoon of honey. Obviously the honey or any kind of sweetening agent, I think, helps cut down the acidity of your final mixture, but it's just what I think. Throw in the shallots and the onions. And then I like spice, so I'm gonna put in probably two tablespoons of the Scotch bonnet. Oh my gosh, it's really thick. Smell the vinegar. Well, 2 tablespoons might be too much. Let's start with 1 tablespoon. Okay, then we gotta add allspice, definitely, allspice. That's a definite. I don't know what the jerk seasoning tastes like. I'm not going to taste it. I want to make my own flavor, just based on the ingredients that you need. I can only assume you don't need a lot of allspice, so I'm going to do 1/8 teaspoon. Fancy little leveler. Okay, so 1/8 teaspoon of some allspice. And, oh gosh, cloves or nutmeg or both? Cloves. I think nutmeg's fine, it's just a little goes a long way in my opinion. Obviously I prefer to grate it fresh, but I couldn't find any nutmeg nuts, or whatever you want to call them, in the store. So I got ground nutmeg. So I don't know, just a pinch of nutmeg. And probably a pinch of cloves as well. I can't imagine you need much cloves. Okay, I don't know, do we need thyme? Probably not for right now, but we definitely, I think we need salt. You never not need salt, in my opinion. Probably just 1/8 teaspoon of salt. All right, I think that's all we need. Let's give it a shot, see if it tastes any good. All right, let's give that a look. It's really good. It's really creamy. Alright, so what I did was I marinated them for about 30 minutes. I'm sure you can marinate them for longer if you so desire. These are the ones that I made right here. Obviously they're a little more lighter colored. This is the darker colored ones that I'm using the store-bought recipe for the jerk seasoning. I cooked them at 425 for 35 minutes. It's really good. Yeah. Yep, the seasoning comes through fine. I'd almost say you may want to marinate it a little longer just so that it gets all the way into the chicken. Let's try the jerk seasoning one. Oh. Oh. Oh my God. Oh. That is just like pure allspice flavor. It's like explosion of Christmas flavor. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of it. It's definitely a lot more potent tasting. So, there you go. At least you have a basic recipe to work with for some version of jerk seasoning. Obviously, it's probably not more authentic, but it's more of a Scotch bonnet sauce than anything. You probably need to make it a little more jerky. Probably have to add a lot more allspice and clove and some other stuff. A little more harsh, but if that's what you're going for, then I would add more of those spices. But if you want something a little more mellower, you could use my base recipe. All right, take it easy.